Where have you gone live? Oh, there I am. There I am.
Margaret's there.
Yeah, thank you. Hi Margaret, you alright, lovely? Hi Brenda, hi Shelley, hi Jill, hi Jan. Hello, hello. Okay, right. Let's shift my stuff back a little bit. There we go. We've got a bit more space. How are we all doing? Yeah, we're good, thank you. We're all good. We're all good. My cold's not so bad now. It's almost gone. Just trying to clear up a little bit of the... Oh, that's good, Jackie. I'm glad to see you. I'm glad he's okay and coming home. Hi, Sue. Let's just shift all my little bits. So, yeah, I had decided what I was doing within 15 minutes to spare, so we're pretty planned today. Yeah, thanks, Sue. Feeling lots better. Feeling lots better. I'll just shift that. It's just at the wrong side, this lamp on there. But anyway, so I've been doing a bit of bookmaking this morning. Making some little steampunk books. They're sweet, aren't they? I got some of those emblems moulds a couple of weeks, well, I'm not sure how long ago, but they came early last week, I think, so I got them. Made little books with them. There's quite a lag on the time here, but still an awful big lag on the time. Let's just come back out and come back in. Hiya, Kim. Oh, I don't know whether I'll be able to now I've come out of it, but let's just see. It's a right pain, the internet at the minute. Yeah, it's so lagged behind. Oh, hiya, Dee. Oh, I'm glad you did. Yeah, Dee, I know you've shared it, but if they're not a member of the group, I don't think they'll be able to see the live. It's fine, but they'll be able to see it on YouTube catch up a little bit later. But it's a really slow lag on my phone, so I apologise if I don't respond really quickly to the comments and that, because there's a real lag today. Just more like how I feel, really. Yeah, so I can't even get the right live on now. Oh, it's a pain. So when I come out of a live now, it picks up another live. Hiya, Philippa Winter McCartney. Hi, Connie. Hi. No, it's fine, Dee, don't worry. Hi, Violet. Yeah, so I can watch... Oh, God, it's so stupid. See, it's showing me the live from the other day. It's ridiculous. I hate Facebook sometimes. It's rubbish. Anyway. Yeah, so I know what I'm making today. There we go. Right, I'm back on the right live. That's fine. Right, we're sorted. We're sorted. Oh, my comments are 1,000 years late. Anyway, I'm going to get cracking. So, I'm using Journal Set 1. I have done, Jill. I've done it. So I'm using Journal It Junior Set 1, and I'm using the 3 different size envelopes, and I'm going to make a little flip-flap book using the Master of Magic collection from Stamperia. So I've got a little bit of mould, I've got a little bit of paper folding, I've got some scrapbook paper, and we'll just see where we go. So I had a little bit of inspiration as I was just rooting through my templates to see what I could make today. So we'll crack on from there. So first of all, what I'm going to do is just pour a little bit of resin. So this is from the Master of Magic collection. I really like this one. It's a lovely mould, this one. Lots of bits and pieces. So I thought I would do something quite nice for the front of it. I quite like the deck of playing cards, that one with the ace, king, queen. So I think I'll just do that. So I don't need to pour a lot. So let's get my little box of tricks. Oops. Ugh. So that's my little amazing casting resin that I'm using. Also from That's Crafty, and a little bit of scrap paper. I'm not going to be doing much pouring. Hi Stella, you alright lovely? So I'll just show you again really quickly how to do your resin. And it's a really easy one, this one, because it's a 1-to-1 pour ratio. Glynis, hello Ladybird, how are you? Oh, so I've got all my little tubs here. Oh, it's not warm here, Jill. It's a bit rubbish here. It's very cold. I've had the door shut really all day. So I love it drying in the tubs because it gets all the plasticky bits. Oh nice, 5 miles an hour on the A1. Oh gosh, I don't envy you doing that. I don't at all. I think we're going to the craft fair thing on Sunday. I'm going to take my mum. Yeah, yours is, mine's in the sun, but it's very shaded in the dining room, Jill, mine. The bedroom gets really hot, but not the dining room. That's really quite cool. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, so for those that are just joining us, I'm using my Journal Junior Set 1. I'm using the trio of envelopes. And I'm also using the Master of Magic collection. I can't form my words today. But still probably a bit discombobulated, to be honest. Jill will be appalled at the state of these cups, but I'm not bothered. So to pour your resin, it's a ratio of part A, part B, the same. So as long as you can use whatever receptacles have a measuring guide, or you're quite good at working out the same volume. So I don't really need very much, so I'm just probably mixing about 5 mils of part A and then about the same for the part B. Part A is clearer, part B is more yellowy. Hello lovely Helen, hope you're alright my darling. Big hugs. So the part B is a little bit more yellow, but the way of knowing that you have mixed it properly together is that it will go clear. So if it's still looking a little bit like wee, it just means that you haven't mixed enough when you're stirring it together. So I'm just putting my glasses on to make sure that I've got about equal parts, and then I'm just going to decant it into another tub. Make sure I've got all my little drips out. The clear one is a little bit thicker than the yellow one, so you just really have to make sure that you've got all the gloopy bits out at the bottom, so you're not missing anything out of that. So it does come with a couple of lolly sticks. You've got a little bit of playtime with this before it sets. So it's like a cloudy mixture at the minute, and you just give it a stir until it goes clear, which doesn't take long. I usually count about 30 to 40 seconds when I'm stirring, and all of a sudden it will become transparent, so you do know then that it's ready to pour. Ready to pour. So let me get the ones I was going to do. So that one, it's quite a thick mould, this. I've still got a bit left, so let's just put a little bit in there. a little bit in the spade bit. I've probably got enough for the base of a joker card. So I don't want to make them too thick because this mould, it's really deep and I don't really want really deep embellishments. So I've got enough there, and then I'm just going to use my stick just to make sure that it's got right to the corners. And then you just sit and wait for it to dry, which is like watching paint dry. So let's just get all the gumps out of the way. So I've had my letter, my pre-op letter about my knee already. So it may look like, it depends on what that goes like, my pre-op, but it may be that my knee's sooner than I think. Right, so they're all out the way and cleaned. Hey Caroline, you alright, lovely lady? Let's just shift them out of the way. I managed to not get any on my hands today, which is a minor miracle. And then these have gone straight back in. You've been looking for your pencil case. It came as a 2-part mould making kit. Oh, very exciting. I've still not come across the Jesmonite for poor Jill. Gosh, I've been promising that Jesmonite for blooming ages. And I don't know where it is. Still don't know where it is. Oh, brilliant, Dee. Oh, that's brilliant news. Oh, fabulous. Good for you. Did somebody sing while they knocked on your door? That's brilliant news. I think I've won about 5 lots of tenors over the time. So just a little tip as well, keep everything in the box with this, but once I've opened it, I always put like a layer of kitchen mould at the bottom of the box to sit the bottles on, because no matter how hard you try, you will get drips coming off the lids and when you screw the top on. So it just collects at the bottom, so just have something that'll collect those little drippy bits for next time, because otherwise it will sort of seep through a little bit. Just a little top tip. Okay, so it's starting to go now. There you can see it's starting to get a little bit cloudy. Let's just shift that out the way. So you'll see it just starting to appear. I'll get rid of that scrap paper because I don't need that anymore. There we go. You got a massive card to tell you. Well, definitely, but you need to treat yourself, Dee. Gosh. That is brilliant. So it doesn't take long to cure at all. But the smaller ones do. The smaller the surface area, the longer it takes. So anyway, that's going quite nicely. So I can move it now. Now it's almost setting, I can just shift that out of the way. Don't attempt to move it until it's sort of getting to that almost cured stage. Well, yeah, just watch the road, Kim. Just keep an eye on yourself. You are the retreat, bless you. Okay, so I have got my big 4A template. So this is going to be the base for my little flip flap book. I'm right into my flip flap books. Hi Carol, you alright, lovely? And let's see what papers I've got. Oh gosh, I've really cricked my neck quite badly, and I'm not happy about it. It's really painful, so I just have to be careful. I can't reach behind me to the left properly. So I've got this backing paper. This is the single-sided one, and I've also got, so this is the Maxi Pad. Unfortunate name for paper pads, but still, let's not be childish about it. And then these other two are double-sided, so I think I'm going to use these because I want to see inside the envelopes. So either the backing paper one or the main one. So I think I'm going to use the backing papers for the envelopes and the main one of the patterned papers for the cards and the bits and pieces around it. Oh, that's good that you're not driving, Kim. Yes, that's very good. So I'm gonna put it on here now. I know it's not quite big enough, but I'm okay with chopping off my envelope at the top. So I'm not bothered that it doesn't quite fit my 8x8. So I'm going to use the paper rather than worry about the excess bit on the template. So I need a nice piece of pattern paper that it doesn't really matter which way up it is. So again, that one is a nice one. Oh, blimey, Gillian. I think, yeah, I've decided not to go out at all today. But I do need to go out at some point over the weekend because I need some cat food at some point. They're into Sheba now. That's their cat food of choice, Sheba. So I get the big 40 packs for them. It's nice to see you anyway, Gillian. I've missed you. I've missed you, lady. I've missed you. Okay, so this is going to be for the main bit, and I'm going to use this bit as the outside bit, and this will be the inside. So I'm going to make sure that I've got as much as I can of the bottom and the two sides of this size of envelope. And then it doesn't matter that I'm going to chop a little bit off. That's going to be the flap. No, it's not. It's that way, isn't it? No, it's fine. I'm going to do it that way. It's fine. Yeah, so normally that would be the bit that comes up. That's your base bit that comes up. But I'm going to do it slightly smaller. One of you sent me some pics of the journal she received. It was... Oh no, what a shame, Dee. Oh, so was it just Royal Mail that you sent it with? That's not good, is it? It's such a shame because you've spent so long making these books. They're like little masterpieces, aren't they? So that wasn't very straight on there. So let's just line that back up properly and do that again. So let's just draw around this. That's better. Put all my score lines in and that bit there. So that's my first envelope, and this is going to be the main body of my journal. Now, because it's going to have quite a few layers to it, it's okay that I'm not using cardstock. I'm just using the scrapbook paper as the main body of the book, because it is going to be layered and it will be protected by those layers, and it will feel quite substantial because I'll have the cards that are inside the envelopes. So how you've all been doing this week? I know, a Friday live. Can't believe it. I know it's a bit later, but I just needed that extra time really to get myself sorted. Okay, so let's get that scored. I need that little scoring tool. So score down there, and then the two sides. Oh, you've been off work. So does that mean you get to have an Indian takeaway for tea tonight, Helen? Oh, your fibro's not so good either today, Dee. Well, I think it's just a weekend just to chill out then, isn't it? For everybody. Let's just chill out and just have a nice relax. I was half watching Indiana Jones before I did my live, the last one. Steve's going, what are you watching? But I just like having it on in the background. You know what I'm like. Nice. Well, I made a nice Chinese curry last night. I managed to get me Chinese 5-spice from Aldi, so I could actually do the recipe properly. Okay, so that's my first little envelope. Let's just make sure all the folds fold. I'm going to do my little bit of distressing around the edges with my Fallen Leaves VersaFine Claire. There we go. Okay, so that's going to be... You watched that film. Well, it's on. Have you got the Disney Channel? It's on Disney, isn't it? Better Man. Oh, who's in that one, Shelley? Okay, so I'm going to glue it so that this bottom flap here, wrong side. Let's see which is the longest out of these. That's just over 2. That's just about 2. So that's going to be my bottom. That's my bottom. And that's my top there. So all I'm going to do, I'm folding the bottom up, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of glue just along this little edge here and this little edge here, and fold those flaps over. Oh, of course, yeah, I do not... Oh, what's that on? Is that on Sky? Because I've got Sky as well, so I might be able to watch a bit of that as well. Okay, so that's my first part done. This is going to be the main body of my little flip-flap book. Okay, so let's put that to one side, and then let's get the other sized envelope. So the next one is going to be 5A. So 5A is the medium size of the envelopes, and I want 2 of these. So let's get my next piece. Ah, that's a nice one. I like that one. So I need 2 of these. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it that way, I think. Okay. Oh, okay, it's one of them, Shelley. So I'm just drawing around this twice, and I'm okay that my papers aren't matching. And again, all the links to what I've used I'll put on the project when I've finished it. The papers, Louise, are from Stamperia. They are the Master of Magic collection. I get all mine from That's Crafty, but when I've done my live and I've done a picture of what I've made, I always put the links into what I've used. But these are the Anthony Zanidakis, they're his sections. Oh, Dee, take your mind out the gutter, you dirty madam. Did anyone watch the design thing last night with Alan Carr? Well, if you did, wasn't that pop art room amazing? Oh my goodness, it was just fantastic. I've seen a few cafes that have been done that way. The colours were amazing though. Oh, Kim, whereabouts are you, darling? I remember we had to come off once when we were coming back from Peterborough. We came up the A1 and across towards Leeds, and it was pigging awful. Are you going north or south? It was blooming awful traffic. And then that one, I think. No, I'm going to do that one because it's blue. That's fine. I'm allowed to change my mind. Yeah, I like that one. Okay, so that's going to be the next one. Going north. Oh, well, just good luck with it. It's a beautiful road to drive on when it's nice, but when it's at a standstill, it's pretty horrid, isn't it? I used to like driving back from Peterborough when we'd done a Chanda along the A1, but then it was a bit of a chore coming through Leeds and then across the M61 and M62 and blah blah blah. I much prefer going up the M6, to be honest. But there's traffic wherever now, isn't there? Crackers. Okay, so there are my two middle sections. So let me just get all those fold lines folded. Oh, thanks, Kim. It's a good job you've got Tinternet on your phone, isn't it? You can hear the dogs outside quite possibly. Bonkers bananas, that dog. Well, I did a very, very big job yesterday. My bedroom has had clothes, because I don't very rarely put clothes away. Who does? So they've mainly been on the floor or on my dressing table. But yesterday I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to do it. So I piled them all on my bed and I did a bit of a Marie Kondo where you sort of say thank you for your service and then chuck them in bin. But I did clear 3 bin bags worth of stuff and put everything away in my wardrobe. I've got a massive pile to go to charity shop, and sorted through drawers. So all I'm waiting for, that should be coming soon. I've ordered some drawer liners in a nice jasmine flavour, so that me tops that I've not worn in 35 years don't smell like they've been sat there for 35 years. But I just thought it was a massive job. I sat watching a film while I was doing it. I sat on the bed because it was just easier to pile everything on because I can't stand up for long. And I watched that Ransom with Mel Gibson, A Blast from the Past, and Gary Sinise from CSI New York and Forrest Gump fame. Doodle-doodle-doo, doodle-doo. So that's my other envelope is done. Rather lovely. Rather lovely. Okay, so again I'm going to stick the sides the same, and they're quite grungy, these papers anyway, so I don't necessarily need to edge them. I might do later, I don't know, I'll see, but I think they're quite grungy anyway. The ones that I've had to cut, I might just give them a little bit of a wisp of distressing around the edges. Oh, well, Steve pretends he doesn't, but he uses his drawing board, which is currently in the upright position and hasn't been down for a few years. He uses that as a clothes horse, so he can't sort of say anything really. Oh, you're not venturing anywhere in Cornwall this weekend? No, just stay put, stay in your garden. I'm going to get the gazebo up this weekend. That's another, well, I'm not going to do it. Mr. Wheeler's going to do it. That's his big job of the weekend. So I can start playing out in my garden. And then I'll get our Gillian booked in finally. I've been saying this for ages, haven't I, Gillian? But I actually will this time. Oh, there's always something, isn't there? Okay, so I'm going to stick those down like that. Let's just trim off all my accessories. But this makes a really nice little album. So again, a little bit of glue just down the sides. If you've got a floor well, I haven't anymore. Well, I want the guy to come and sort my ceiling out, because I've had a hole in my ceiling for quite a while now, but we have had the roof done so it can be mended, because we had quite a bad leak coming through. Okay, so that's one extra envelope, and then this is the next one. Let's just ink around there. But I'll tell you what I made as well this week. Gosh, a revelation. Jill eats them a lot. Orzo pasta. Or Orzo, however you spell it. O-R-Z-O. Beautiful. So, a one-pot orzo dinner in the casserole dish. Gorgeous. And it's really, really healthy. So, I used, it says about 100 grams per person, but that's far too much. So I did it's about 45, 50 grams, if that, per person in a casserole dish, uncooked. And then you put in a tin of tomatoes, or some nice fresh tomatoes on the spine, whatever. But I use some tin tomatoes. And then I put a little bit of stock in it. Not sure how much, maybe about 400 millilitres. 400 litres is huge, isn't it? That'll fill a ship. 400 millilitres, something like that, of stock. And then a block of low-fat Greek salad cheese. It's like a feta, but Aldi do an alternative. In the middle, with a load of basil over the top. A little bit of salt and pepper, and shove it in the oven for about 20 minutes. And then in the meantime, I fried some, well, I air fried some bacon in the air fryer, and then mixed it all together. It is a pasta. It's lovely, but really filling and lovely and creamy, because I can have about 65 grams of that low-fat feta-y type cheese on my fat club every day. So it's about a third each of that is about 65 grams. So amazing. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do now is just glue this to the sides. Yep. So all I'm going to do is just apply glue just along this little stretch here. Just this little stretch here. So what I need to do is just get my template and just mark the little flap, the side flap of the big envelope. Okay, so I've drawn round my the middle-sized one, the 5A, but I'm actually going to get this bigger one, and I just need to cut out the width of that flap off it. Yep, so I'm just going to cut across that line because I only need it to be that wide. Yeah, no butter or anything. And I actually did spray the bottom of the casserole dish just a little bit with some oil, just so that the pasta didn't stick, because I literally didn't open the door of it. And I'm just going to round the corners a little bit as well. You can use the template for that if you want to. But I keep meaning to post these recipes online. Okay, so that, it goes like that, but it doesn't need to be closed, because we're going to stick it over the top of that. So it's actually going to fold into the centre of this envelope. That's the idea of it. So if you have got envelopes that are, see, that's upside down. If you have got envelopes that have text that goes in a certain way, just try and do it the right way up. I haven't bothered, I'm not bothered. I might do that on that side, then it doesn't really matter, and then that's got the wording on that side. So that's what I'll do. So I'll just say that again. So I'm getting the 4A template, and then draw just around that bit, and then if it's easier, just use the template that way, just to get your angle for your little curve there. So I think we might have that again tonight. But Oldie started doing like all these beetroot pastas as well, so I'm going to have a go at that at some point next week. There we go. Right, okay, so let's get these stuck down. And let's just get rid of that pencil line in there. So a nice little blob of glue down that flap. And make sure it's nicely lined up to the edge, and then fold it over so everything's nicely lined up with the side and the top and bottom. Don't try it. Well, I'll try it. I will try it. I've got it. I've got one of each. I've got a lentil one and the beetroot one. I love a beetroot though. I love a beetroot. So whenever you do this, just make sure that this flap here doesn't go over the top of the one underneath it, because you're more liable to put glue on it and stick the flap down, and you don't want to be sticking your flaps down, do we? We want flaps that can open and close. And then the same with this side, so that will then just sit over the top of that. So again, add a little bit of that at the bottom. Just make sure it's nicely lined up at the side. Oh, well, I'll have to do it a little bit al dente then and just see what it tastes like. Okay, so there we have our two inner bits there. That folds over like that, so we're getting there. So now we've got 3 pockets, that one in the middle and then the 2 at the side. And then I want to do another one of these that can come up at the bottom, so I've got like a double pocket, so to speak. So let's get our next piece of paper. Let's draw around it. So what I'll do, I'll just bring this down a little bit. Oh, it don't matter with this one because it's gonna. But yeah, but I don't want all of it going over the going all over my cogs on the middle of that page. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this to stick over the top of that to give me a guide of where I need to line it up. Yep, so I'm trying not to make it too complicated. So I've just lined that up there so that I know where to draw around the rest of this envelope template. So I can still do these sides now, because it was just for the height that I needed it. Like that. Let's cut this out. Steve, can you let the boys in, please? It's tea time for our waff, isn't it? Because I forgot it'll be nearly 5, will it? Oh, 22, we're not doing so bad. Yes, you can't get your tags in if you get your flap stuck, can you? Exactly. See, the comments are coming up so much later than I said the original thing. That's why I get discombobulated sometimes, because I don't know what's going on half the time anyway. And then when there's a lag behind. Okay, let's shift that. Let's have that. Let's get the little edge bit of that. Well, I don't need the edge bit because it's going at the bottom. Ignore myself. Okay, let's get those scored. Oh, Waffle, can you be any noise you're eating? Maybe. It says maybe I can, Mum. But not today. Okay, that's all nicely. So when you fold that flap over, it does almost come to the top, so it does hide what's inside that little envelope. Oh, Glynis, well, we'll have to just take a little bit of time to say goodbye. We'll do an Irish goodbye where it takes 25 minutes rather than 5 minutes. That's it. Just get rid of that pencil line. That's what I like using the double-sided papers for things like this, because you're not messing having to mat and layer everything. It's all done with just the template and your scrapbook papers. So let's edge around this. I know, it's nearly tea time soon though, isn't it? I'm getting quite peckish. What did I have for my lunch? Oh, I had a barm cake. That was part of my healthy extra because it was going. So I had a barm cake. But I also made Slimming World Heinz tomato soup. And if you've not heard the recipe for that, oh my gosh, it does taste like Heinz tomato soup. So if you've got your pen and pencil ready for this one, it is so easy. You need 2 tins of tomatoes, chopped or not chopped, doesn't matter. So 2 tins of that in a pan, a tin of baked beans, 400 gram ones in a pan, tin of carrots. Now I drain the juice off my carrots. You don't necessarily need the juice of your carrots. You can put it in a bit, but it makes it a little bit starchy. So a tin of carrots. They're usually smaller than a 400 gram tin. And then 4 pickled onions, I know. And then about half a pint of vegetable stock. Shove it all in the pan, bring it to the boil, simmer, turn it off, billy blend it until it's smooth, and you have Heinz tomato soup. Don't need any cream or anything in it. What I did, I added a tiny bit of salt, because I like my salt and pepper. Well, I didn't really put pepper in it, I don't think. A tiny bit of salt and a tiny bit of sweetener, because Heinz tomato soup does have a little bit of sweetness to it. But oh my goodness, and it's a fat-free one for me. It's a fat club-free one. So that made about 4 portions, decent-sized portions, that lot. So I had a little bit with my barm cake, and then I've got some to go in the freezer. But that's a really nice soup. So I'll just eat, so a tin of baked beans, 2 tins of tomatoes, a tin of carrots, 4 pickled onions, half a pint of vegetable stock, and that's it. Billy blend it, and you have Heinz tomato soup. Ginny, hello lady. How are you? Okay, so I've got that one, and that one. And then this one, you just need to sit it just wherever in between those two down at the bottom. So if you want to give that a curve, you can do. I think I will on mine. There we go. Let's just glue that in place. So I could have had a bigger flap. I didn't need a bigger flap because I still want to see some of that. Okay, so that's going to get glued there. You had a healthy salad with nuts and chicken, now you're eating Ferrero Rocher. Well, as long as it's just 1 or 2 and not 58. My big go-to at the minute is Wotsits. The little packs of Wotsits. They're my guilty pleasure. But I've run out now, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so that'll just sit like that. So I've got like a little trio of little flip-flap envelopes that all fold in together like that, and then that will come down like that. So you can carry on because I've also got that smaller size envelope, and the idea of that one is that it will go on the side of these flaps, so these can pull out that way and that way. So you can do like a trio of different size little layered envelopes and flaps. So you've got one big card to go in there, you've got 3 of your medium sized cards to go in there, and then you can put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on here if you want. So they will then be positioned so that they will sit within this section here. So you can just keep going on and on and on if you wanted to, but I'm just going to do those 3 at the minute because I obviously want to get it finished this evening and not next week. Okay, so to finish it, what I want to do is add a final layer, a final flap that's going to be just positioned at the bottom here. So what I'm going to do is get my last little piece of paper there, and then using my big template, it's a very flippy flappy one and it can continue to be flippy flappy for a while. Let's try and find my template. There we go. So I need it to be this size over the middle, but then I only need a little section at the bottom that will stick to the back of this section here, a little bit at the bottom there. So I'm going to draw around this. Let's see what way up I want it. Oh, I like that. 10, 11, 5. So maybe that way up. So that's going to be at the top. So I'm just lining that template up at the top and at the side there. So I'm just going to draw in that guideline there and that guideline there. And then all I need to do with a ruler is just draw another little line underneath there that's going to be my stick line. It is very flippy floppy. I do like a flip flap though, you do know that. So I'm just going to measure, it's probably about 1/2 inch, just along the side. And then cut that. Do 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 do. Then score that line. Ba-da-bum, bum, bum. Were you going under a tunnel, Kim? Is that what happened, lady? And because this is double-sided, you can even put something on the top of that as well if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. It might well be ugliness, yes. Yeah, I'm just trying different things really. Just trying to make different nice things, but using the collections that I've got. Oh, I keep losing your signal. Okay, so let's get my little flippy book. And then that will sit over the top of that. And then just fold under like that. So I'm just going to put a little gusset now of about 1/8 of an inch. Let's just get my score line. Just to put a little gusset just along there. So I've still got room that sticks to the back of the envelope, but then I've got a little bit of a hinge there, a little gusset to sit the base of this book inside it as well. You still haven't found them? Oh, Kim. There you go. So it just means it sits nicely in that section, and I've just got a little bit that overlaps at the bottom so it doesn't look out of place underneath there. So all I'm going to do is just add a little row of glue along here, this bottom flap. I don't want any glue on the gusset because that needs to fold down flat. I don't want it sticking this bit. So just be careful where you stick your glue. And then just sit that gusset just in the middle there. Just make sure that's nice and stuck down. So it was about 1/2 inch, and then I did about, well, let me just see how wide that is, that little gusset. That gusset is an 1/8 of an inch exactly. Blimey, Riley, that was good measuring, wasn't it, by eye? By eye it was. See, I'm used to doing them that often, aren't I? Let's just make sure you're down there properly. There we go, and that it's not impeded. So that will then come out, and then that's does like that, and that. I love it. And then that will come down like that. Okay, so what I want to do now is get my resin piece that's going to act as a little overlap over here, over there, over here. So let's get my resin now. That is now nicely cured. Easy to push out. Like that. Little bitty bits, like little bitty bits. So I've got a selection there to choose from. Oh. Oh, Gillian, I'm like, I'll put this here because it's a safe place and I'll remember where I've put it because it's in a safe place. Never do that, ever. Because you can never have a safe space because you can never find it. So the idea is that that's going to go over the top of that. Yeah, to sit over the top. So I'm going to paint that first and then attach it. So let's get a little bit of scrap paper. Let's get my black gesso. Let's get my gold paint. And that's all I'm using. Okay. I do often repeat myself though, Jackie, so it might not be deja vu. It might be just the fact that I've said it 15 times. Can't help that. Can't help it. Gosh, I'm really hungry. Getting hungry. So you do need to give it a little bit of a base for your other paint to stick to it. But I'm going to do this really quickly. What week was? Quick. Oh, that was quick. There we go. A bit of dibby-dabby in. Right, that's done. That's done. Get my heat gun out. My Jenga tower that I cleared is starting to become a Jenga tower again. All right, lovely. You enjoy your tea. I'm blooming starving. Oh, so hungry. You remember? Oh, that's very funny, Gillian. That's so funny. Oh yeah, that's definitely on a lag, Jackie. It makes me laugh though when Philippa watches, because sometimes she watches on catch up and she'll be screaming at the computer and I can't hear her obviously because it's not live. And if I've made a decision, she's shouting like, make this decision, make this decision. Right, that's dry. While that's just cooling down a little bit, because I don't want to do my dry brushing until that's proper cooled, what I'm going to do is get my magnets out now. They're stuck to something metal, Gillian Young and Ginny. So I'm going to put a little magnet just underneath it here. So let's get me a bit of double-sided sticky tape. Do 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 do. I've got paint everywhere. So I want about the middle. Let's get my ruler if I'm going to do it properly. Yeah, Jill's on live later. Right, so let's just work out about the centre, which is about there. Let's pop a little a little mark there. Right, so a little bit of double-sided sticky tape, because I've only got little magnet there. There's my little magnet. There's two there actually, I think. Let's get my glasses off. Oh no, there's only one. Okay, so that can go on there, and then I'm gonna get, oh, chicken oxo. No, I've got my juice here. I've got my juice. I'll just have a drink, that makes me stop eating. So I'm going to get my little hole punch. This is my 1 inch hole punch. Is it 1 1/4? I don't need it that big. I don't need you that big, mate. Let's get the other one. Right, that one's my 1 inch one. So I've got my little 1 inch one. Oops, it'll flash in there. So let's get a little bit of scrap paper from the paper that we've already used. So that's a bit of that one. So I can take a nice little cog out of this. There we go. Oh, yes, you will have to keep an eye on them, Gillian. You'll have to show me. You'll have to show me, lovely. So I'm going to stick that over the top of that. So let's get some glue nicely around that. I'm going to leave a little bit in the middle so it's not gunged up with glue, and then just position that over the top. Let's give you a little stick down, and because it's only scrapbook paper and it's not cardstock, it shouldn't be a problem keeping those pages stuck down. It's when you've got layers of cardstock and stuff. But just having that, it blends in so nicely, that. So it doesn't look like I've got a magnet under there, does it now? That looks pretty special. So what I'm actually going to do is put the magnet underneath this section here. So let me get the next magnet, shove that on there where it needs to be. Oops, get off, get off, get off. Get off, come on, that's it. Get back in your little bag, put that there on the lamp. Okay, so what I want to do, the tiniest little bit of glue, or I might actually use a, let's see if that'll work. Let's just, because I just want a little mark where that magnet's going to be. So I've just used a little pencil, push it down. I don't think that'll work, will it? Alright, let's get a little bit of glue. Just a tiny, tiny bit of glue in the centre of that magnet. Pop that down really quickly, just so I know where that glue's going to go. And then what I'm going to do is poke a tiny hole through there with my pokey tool. I know it's convoluted. Oh no, I think the easiest way is just to do that, innit? Pop my magnet there, so it's underneath there, and then try and push it to it. No, I thought it would be easier to poke my hole through to find where my other magnet bit is going to go. I think I'm going to do that instead. Oh no, that's... okay, that's fine. I'm going to use a bit of glue though to find out where it needs to be. So it's about there. I'll do that again. So a little bit of glue. Pop it down where my glue is, poke a little hole through. So on this side is where I need to put my tape. So I'll move that down now. That's where I need to put my tape. Yep. But my magnet needs to go that way on my tape, not the glue side. So it needs to be upside down on this bottom bit, if that makes sense. So back to front to where you think you need to put the magnet glue. So that can go on there. So hopefully when that lifts up... oh God, why aren't you sticking down? Because you're not too high, you're not high enough, are you? Oh, I'm having trouble today with my magnets, aren't I? I thought it'd be nice and easy, this one. Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, just talk amongst yourselves while I sort this blooming magnet out. I suppose I could just put it on there, couldn't I? Let's just put it on the top. It's far easier. Let's just put it on top. I'm not messing. Not messing. It's getting on my nerves. There. Just be done with it. There. Just be done with it. I'm not even messing. I've stopped messing. Not even doing it. Can't make me do it. I'm not doing it. Right, let's turn another little cog out. It probably is Glynis, but it's fine because I'm going to do it there like that and it'll all join in together. We're not even bothered, Glynis. We'll just pretend that bit didn't happen and I've not wasted 38 minutes on trying to stick the blooming thing down. So that then will go over the top of that, like that. Okay, so I'm just going to trim this little coggy so that it doesn't look out of place over the top. I did turn it, I know I did. Don't be laughing at me. Don't be laughing at me, it's not my fault. Don't be laughing. Right, so let's get that on there. Stick that down. So let's put that down that way like that. That'll do there like that. Oh, just breathe. Just breathe. You're all mean to me. You're all mean. Right, just make sure. Right, that sticks down. At least something works. Okay, so that's that. That's my fastener. Shh, we're calm. We're calm. Okay. There you go. Obviously, if you wanted a little bit of rigidity in this bit, because this is always going to be opening and closing, you can, you know, add an extra layer of card and then mat that as well on top so it's a little bit thicker. But it's okay. There we go. So now I've got my little card piece. I know very well you're laughing at me, Sue. It's fine. I don't take it personally. It's fine. Don't you worry. I know, but if I don't mess about trying to struggle with it, you don't have to, do you? You can see my mistakes and go, well, I wouldn't have done it like that. I'd have done it like this. And that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so let's just get my scrubby brush. I don't know if it was this scrubby when I first got it. It's a Cadence brush. It might well have been, but it's pretty knackered now. So a bit of dry brushing with my That's Crafty beautiful almost spilt metallic gold paint. I'm laughing at you after the gym. Well, exactly, Gillian. I know. See, it's karma, isn't it? It's karma chameleon for me sorting you out. Right, so a little bit of dry brushing now. Light dabbing over the top of this. You could use your wax, paste, whatever you want. But I'm just going to use some of this lovely That's Crafty gold paint. Just wait a minute while I shout, Steve. Steve! He just, honestly, he does it every time. He does, yeah. Do you remember I had that conversation on Monday about him saying that he does these little, like, noises because he's got his headphones on and he doesn't know he's doing it? Well, he just did it again. No, I started at 4. I started at 4, Jill. No, she'll probably be at work or she might be on her way home from work. Because this is my live, not a That's Crafty one. This is one of mine. So she doesn't always come on her Friday, lovely. Okay, so I've got my gold on there, and I'm just going to get a little bit of the red now. Yeah, sorry, Jill. I started at 4 because Jill's on later on. I don't want to. The problem is I might well go into Jill's time, and I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to get a little bit of the red. Where are you? It's probably right at the bottom. Yes, of course it is. A little bit of the red. But these metallics are lovely. There's a bronze one, which is beautiful. And the copper is gorgeous as well. I've used a lot of them. A lot of the copper ones. You know, I was doing the gel plate on Monday. I've done loads of those little books as well. I just need to do the little chain with them. Those little ones. I've done tons of them. They were nice to make. Oh, okay. Sorry, darling. Well, it gives you something to do, doesn't it, to watch us? So a little bit of the red now. Just to go over those hearts down the centre. I might actually get a smaller brush for this. There, I've got a little teeny tiny brush for this. Let's get in my paint. And then I'm just going to go over those little hearts with the red paint. Just to give that final detail. But I do love these Stamperia moulds. They're all fabulous. So I've got the 10 hearts on the front and then the little hearts on each of the cards behind. And it just finishes it off, I think, with that. Lovely jubbly. Oh, nice. I will do that. However, I've not got any chestnut brown left, Shelley. It's on my next order. Because I forgot to put it in the order that came today, obviously. But I've no chestnut brown left. I know. That'd be nice. Okay, so that's my little... I love that. I love that. So that then will be glued over the top of that. So all I need to do is just get a little bit of scrapbook paper now, just to glue to the inside of this. And because it's the resin, I'm actually going to use some of my gel medium for this. So any gel medium that you've got. Oh, okay, that's a good idea. Thanks for that. So let's get a piece that's going to fit the whole of that section. Let's see what I've got left. Which is the one that I've used there. So I've used that paper. So all I'm going to do is just draw around this template. I'm going to draw around on the back of it. Just there. not with my sewing pencil. Let's just draw around this template. So I've done the paper back to front, so it's the nice side that's on the reverse of this, because that's going to stick to the back of that. So I'll just cut this out, but I'm just going to cut it slightly inside the pencil line that I've just drawn. I'm just going to fuzzy cut it as best as I can, but I'm going to edge round it, ink round it as well at the bottom, and then just that little bit there and there, so it should sit inside the mould now. It should sit nicely inside that. So all I'm going to do is just ink around the edges, but apply a little bit of my gel medium to stick this to it, because it's that resin. I don't always trust just a PVA glue. I like a nice resin for this to stick to. So I'm just using one of my best paint brushes to stick this glue gel medium with it. Oh, it's not, it's one it's knackered, this brush. I always start out with really nice brushes and then just kill them. So that'll then sit nicely inside there. So it's just another option, because sometimes I forget to paint the back of these resin pieces when some of them are going to be exposed. And don't forget, you can stick paper to the inside as well. Don't be afraid of doing that. Right, so my hands are very sticky now. So that's my little resin piece that I'm going to stick half on the top of that. So a little bit of pencil line there that's going to be hidden, and then I'm going to glue the rest of this with my gel medium. So I know I've wasted a bit of paper, but I'd rather waste it than not have a lovely background. So again, I'm going to get my pencil line and use my brush just to paste. Now this time I'm going to be a little bit thicker with this gel medium, because there's a little bit of it's in a bit of a recess. I could take my scissors and try and cut some of that excess off to make it a little bit flatter, because it is still quite soft, this resin. So that's one way of avoiding having too much of a recess. So that's why I don't like to do a really thick layer of resin in these ones. It's nice, isn't it? It's just another design feature really, so it all ties in together. Yeah, make sure. Oh, which way up am I doing it now? That's right, I nearly went the wrong way then with my resin. Yeah, so if you cast like a really thick piece, you know, just bear in mind how that's going to look on your final piece, or where it's going to be situated. Is it going to be too heavy for the piece? So just sort of think about that as well. So I've given it a little bit of a raised edge just so that it'll grip that paper. Let that stick down. And then I've got my little paper line there that I drew. And that's my little guideline of where that goes. And then that should just fit down like that. So there we have our little flip-flap envelope with a lovely card little embellishment on the front of it, with loads of room for extra bits and pieces in it. Obviously I need to do the cards for inside it, but I can take my time doing them. But there we are, we've got our little, let me just shift this out of the way. Let's shift that, let's shift that. But yeah, just another way of using the templates. I'm quite pleased with that, considering I only came up with the idea at 3:45. Flipping heck. I think I've done alright there, lovelies. So that will open up like that. That will open down. Then obviously you can put some journaling on here. You could even put one of the smaller envelopes on the top of that if you wanted to. One of these little tidgers can fit in there. So you could have one on there and one on there. So that's extra storage. Obviously you've got those 4 envelopes with inserts there. And then you can do extra flips and flaps. Like that and like that. See, Sue? Yeah, you see, because you shouldn't use them all in one go. And then you've equally got an extra section here where you can stick another layer of envelope underneath it there. So it's just a way of adding more and more and more and more to it. But it all folds nicely into this little envelope shape. Now bear in mind, if you're adding more flaps and pockets and pages to it, don't do this. Oh gosh, just down here, Steve, thanks. Are they really heavy? I don't know why they're that heavy. Is one of them cat food? I don't know why that's heavy. Steve's just got some Amazon parcels off me. I only got some very thin magnetic sheets because I want to do magnetic bookmarks. So, but I think I only ordered 1 pack, not 500 packs, but I will check in a bit. So just when you're doing it, just bear in mind the width of this. So do this bit of paper here at the very end, just so that you know how thick to do that gusset, how wide to do it. So do this section right at the end once you've put all your bits and pieces in, and then you'll know how thick to allow for your gusset at the end here. And don't forget, you're only gluing that back section. You're not gluing your gusset because that needs to lay flat. You could add a little handle to that and make it a handbag. That's a very nice idea. So it could well be. But what you could do is actually poke before you fold. So to put your handle on, what I would suggest you do, before you put these side bits across, before you glue them down, put a little hole. Let's just fold these in. Oh, Waffle has just seen the box and is now sat on top of the pile of boxes. So put a little hole there and there with a little eyelet. So add more flaps, you need a bigger gusset. That is the rule of thumb, Gillian. Yeah, that is the rule of thumb. Steve's just come downstairs to that phrase. So if you add more flaps, you need a bigger gusset. Steve, that's the rules. That's the rules. That's the rules. I can't argue with the rules, pal. Blimey. Yeah, so punch a little hole there and there before you stick your side bits in with an eyelet, and then you could add your little handle, a little bit of string with a knot or something in it. But anyway, there's today's little project. I really like that. Obviously there's stuff to go in the envelopes, but I'm not going to go crazy with those. But you can add little booklets and all sorts of stuff. You know, and then you've got other little bits that you can add to the bottom of that as well. So I might well paint these and add a few little extra va-va-vooms around the bottom. I know he's chortling away there. But anyway, that's today's live. So we've got to wind it on a little bit longer because Glynis, it takes Glynis 10 minutes for her to catch up with the end, and we're on such a lag. So I'll say goodbye now, but it's going to be a few moments before Steve actually turns it off. But thank you, I've enjoyed that. So I will put final pictures. I will do a little bit of messing around here. I might do, because I've got the cutter parts as well, so I might add a little bit of 3D-ness down here. And I'll add the cards, and obviously I'll do a reel, and I'll do all the bits and pieces, and I will put the links to everything that I've used for today. But thank you for watching. I've really enjoyed it today. I have. Have a lovely bank holiday weekend, whatever you get to do. Don't forget to watch our Chill on Crafting Together with All Brands. I'll probably see you Monday evening on Crafting Together. Other than that, yes, other than that, other news, Sarah, John and I are doing a D-stash on the 15th of June. No, are we? Yes. 15th, Sunday the 15th of June, I think. We've booked to do at Heysham Library again. So any Northwest people, we've both going to do a joint D-stash. So that'll be quite exciting, unless I'm under the knife for my knee. I don't think it'd be that quick, but I don't know. And I'll also get some more workshop dates, online workshop dates put in the calendar. Okay, right. Oh, and it's Philippa Winter McCartney's birthday tomorrow. Oh, have a lovely birthday. It was Ginny's this week as well, so happy birthday Ginny off everybody. But anyway, Steve, we're done now. So goodbye, 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 goodbye Glynis, goodbye, goodbye everybody, goodbye, goodbye.